All right, this is Llama muscle trauma. It's a Tabata workout. All the exercises are done for 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. All it requires is exercise tubing, just like this. You can order it online. Looks like rubberized cheese strings with handles on it. We're gonna get started off. First exercise to begin with is the squat and backward lunge combo. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with arm position number 1, palms pressed together. What I'll do here is I push my hips back, bend the knees, squat all the way down, stand up. Now I step one foot all the way behind me. I do a reverse lunge, push back up to start, another squat. Lunge the other leg all the way behind you, squat. Reverse lunge left leg, squat. Reverse lunge right leg, squat. So just from the side, it'll look like this. Squat, reverse lunge, squat, reverse lunge. There are a number of different arm positions you can use. This is arm position number 1. It's a little bit easier. Arm position number 2 is to have your fingers in your ears with your elbows pushed back like this, so that you're squeezing your shoulder blades together. So you just be doing the same movement, just like so. That's arm position number 2. The most advanced arm position is arms up straight overhead. Okay, so you'll be doing an overhead squat, reverse lunge, overhead squat, reverse lunge. That one's going to work your cardiovascular system more because your heart has to pump harder to get the blood up into the arms. It's also really good for the posture, forces a really straight spine. So that is the squat and backward lunge combo. Just remember you're alternating legs on the backward lunge. Now the next exercise we have is high heel side lunges. The key here is that your heels are up the whole time, okay? Heels are up. You're on the balls of your feet the entire time, as long as you can manage that. Otherwise, go with a flat foot. So what I do here is I have my heels up. I take a big step to the side. I keep my stance legs straight. I lunge down. I touch the top of my ankle, okay? And then what I would do is I would alternate sides. So my heels are up, balancing on the front of the feet. I take a big step to the side. I lunge down, I lean forward, touch the ankle, and I would repeat, just alternating sides. So just to give you a view like this, heels are up the whole time. You're really working your ankle stabilizers. Right leg out to the side, touch. Left leg out to the side, touch. You're gonna bend forward a little bit when you do this. Just make sure you're not rounding your spine too much. This is great for lateral ankle stabilizers. If you're wobbling around, it means you need it, okay? And it's also good for the groin, lateral hips and thighs. If it's too hard, that's okay, go flat-footed, but we wanna go high heel because it's gonna challenge the muscles and joints in very unique ways that will create greater resilience against rolling the ankle and poor foot alignment and everything else. So it's just an all-out blitz for the ankle stabilizers. Now the next exercise is the seal jumps. I want you to think of this like jumping jacks, except instead of having your arms go out to the sides, what you're doing is you have your arms out in front and you stretch the chest. So you're swinging your arms apart, clapping them in front like a seal. Okay, so it looks like this. Now what we're doing here is, unlike a traditional jumping jack, what we're doing here is we're stretching out the chest. So when people have poor posture where they're really rounded in front, very tight in the front of their body, this is stretching you open to help open up that posture, while at the same time getting the cardiovascular benefits and overall muscle stimulation that you would otherwise get in a jumping jack. Now, that might be too high impact for some people. So if you find that the jumping is a little bit jarring, then what I want you to do instead is do a sit-down squat. I want you to sit down, stand up, swing the arms open. Sit down, stand up, swing the arms open. So that is our low-impact alternative. Just sit down, stand up, swing the arms open. All right, now, the next one we're going to do is a forward bend, band, pull-apart combo. For this one, you're going to take the bands, the tubes, you wrap it around your wrist a few times, okay? the idea is you're going to need to do a pull apart like this, where you're squeezing the shoulder blades together, popping the chest up and out. So that's one movement that's involved in this. Now the next is to bend forward on one leg and to bring your hands down to about mid-shin. So I go like this. Hands go down to about mid-shin. I put both feet on the ground. I do a band pull apart. Hands go down to mid-shin. Band pull apart. Hands go down to mid-shin. Both feet on the ground. Band pull apart. Okay, I'm just going to give you a different view of this. Hands go down to the shin. Band pull apart. Hands go down to the shin. Band pull apart. Now, I'm going to go one leg per set and switch legs each set. Sometimes people will alternate legs. That can be okay too. It's a little bit easier if you're alternating legs. It's a little bit more challenging if you just blitz one leg at a time. All right, now the next one is the squat and alternating side raises. So I'm going to take the tube, I'm going to loop it under my feet, okay? I'm holding the arms straight down by the sides, feet are about shoulder width apart here. Now what I'm going to do is this, I'm going to push my hips back, bend my knees, squat all the way down. When I stand up, I arc one arm up and out to the side, squat, other arm up and out to the side. Just like this. Squat and alternating side raise. So if I give you a different view here, okay? And what that's going to do is we're squatting to get the heart rate up, burn some calories, get the muscles moving, but the one arm side raise with the tube works the mid-deltoid largely, but it also works the lateral core and spine, because that tube is trying to side bend you, and you have to activate all these muscles along the sides of the spine to keep an upright torso and resist the side bend movement that the tube is pulling you into when you arc your arm up to the side. So that's a great exercise to just get the heart rate going, work the shoulders, a little bit of lateral core. Now the next one is the bent over reverse fly. And I want you to watch the setup very closely. I'm going to stand on the tube the same way we did in the previous one. I'm holding the handles. Crisscross the handles, just like that, okay? Now, one hand just rests on your thigh. The other arm is straight down. So the arm that's straight down, I'm going to arc it up and around and follow it with the head and eyes, just like this. That is our movement. So I'm exercising the upper back, the rear deltoid. So I'm just going to give you a different view. So I've crisscrossed my handles. My hand is on my thigh. My free hand is on my thigh. My spine is bent forward about 45 degrees with a straight back. And I'm just following this with the head and eyes. That's a reverse fly. Okay? Now if I wanted to make it harder, then my free hand, I would rest it on my hip instead of my thigh, because now I work more postural muscles. So rather than rest it here and use it like a post, I'm resting it on the crease of my hip. Now I'm using more postural muscles, but I just want to give you a word of caution. If you try that progression, form tends to break down for people. I'm always correcting them on the form because it's really hard to maintain that postural position while doing this dynamic motion and maintain good form. So be very cautious about moving forward with that progression, because if you're not careful, you may end up having a lot of sloppy reps, bending through your spine, and so on and so forth, and that's not ideal. Now, the final exercise is the double knee tap plank. For this one here, you're going to be on your forearms like this. Okay, you're doing a plank. You're going to brace your abs, keep both feet in place, but just tap both knees down to the floor, raise them all the way back up. Now only move from the ankles. Don't do this. So a lot of times people are doing this. That's false. Just go, only the ankles move. Just like this, okay? Now, if you want to progress it, go from your hands with your hands wide apart. And you're going like this. Now there's a lot more stabilization going on. Now, my hands are not like this, they're way out. So when I'm doing that double knee tap plank, the hands are very wide, okay? so that I've got less of a base of support because I'm spreading them out to the side. Increases the core activation. So you're just gently tapping your knees down, bringing them both up. If you get fatigued and tired, you can gently rest the knees down a little bit longer, take a little bit of a break, but just do the best you can. So that workout there is Llama muscle trauma. Requires nothing but the exercise tubes and a little bit of floor space. You can get it done anywhere. It's excellent for shoulder health, overall fitness. I know you're going to love it.